We think it'll be, we had an MRI done to make sure there's no deviation, in the actual muscle. And Dr. Jones will see him physically today. He was out of town. We had another one of his colleagues, Dr. Altmeyer, see him yesterday. And, we're thinking it'll be a couple weeks before he's back out there.
What did the MRI say?
What I said is that it doesn't look like there's, a huge deviation in the muscle. There's a torn quad could have been a multi-month problem in some cases. That's why we had the actual study done to make sure we're not looking at a real long-term deal. And so it was suggested by Dr. Altmeyer that this will be something that he should be back out there in a couple weeks.
With this game Sunday, how long did it take y'all get this all worked out, and when did it start? How did you what's the process?
You know what? I made a phone call to my good friend Mark Bain at the University of Nebraska, who's the executive associate athletic director, who I work with at the University of Pittsburgh, I think Sunday night, and said, will you call Coach Miles, who's a friend of mine and a good guy, and a very good coach, and see if he'd be interested in doing something like this, to help, obviously, for the cause, and also it's a great thing for both our programs to play against each other in a game that you get where, doesn't count as a win or a loss, but, we're both going to benefit from, playing this early against each other. So I thought it was a great idea. And playing it down here kind of brings more attention to the fact that we're close to, including the Mississippi, where these events happened. These the Hurricane Irma, so he was great, and looked into it and talked to Coach Miles that night, and it was finally finalized. It has to go through a lot of process, with the NC2A and a waiver and compliance, and there's a lot of different things. You can't miss class because of this. So there was only so many days it would fit because we already had things scheduled. So for this all to come together so quickly was miraculous. And I can't thank University of Nebraska and the basketball program and Coach Miles and Mark and Bill Moose, their new athletic director, who's phenomenal, who I worked with in terms of being in the same league. He was great, great guy. When I was in the Pac-10, he was at Oregon and then Washington State.
You see that's something maybe moving forward in years to come where people just have these type of events, the exhibition games, regardless of what the fundraising is?
No, I mean we get 2 games right now, as it is. What I like about this is you get to play, high major in a situation like this. That's great. But I have no idea what, it's all what the NC2A allows, so I can't comment as to if this will happen in the future or not. I have no idea.
How much studying have you done on Nebraska?
We're exchanging film. I mean, we're friends. So, and I called Coach Miles last night and said, how do you have 28 things already in? And we're in the 12th day of practice. He was in New York at their conference meetings, and the Big Ten Media Day today is in New York. And he said, all we did this summer is go 5-on-0 the whole summer long with their minutes, with their time. So all they did was, they're like in mid-season form offensively right now. It's incredible. It's like, really? I mean, we've got 5 or 6 sets in, and we don't even, not even close to where they are. So I'm just telling you, this will be a great experience for our young team to have to play against a team that's already on all cylinders offensively in terms of what they're running, what they're doing. And then they got a million things in. They have 28 different things that we've seen on film yesterday.
What kind of catches your attention about them as far as what you already know?
They have a bunch of new players that weren't there last year that are good. They have a kid from Miami that had 14 on us down in Puerto Rico a couple of years ago in limited action. And they got a transfer from Georgetown who is a very good player. I mean, they're good. They're much improved. They got a very good point guard. I mean, it's a Big Ten team. That's what's great for our guys is that, And I'm really disappointed for Abdul and for our team that Abdul's not going to be able to play. That's a significant loss. And, we talked about, the key for us, period, is just staying healthy. And this happened on the last sprint of conditioning and practice, on the very last sprint. And it's like, it was just, I was sick to my gut all night when that happened 2 days ago.
Do you expect Nick to be able to play Sunday?
Yeah, you know what? He's going to practice today non-contact. He was doing some shooting on it yesterday. So if he gets through the non-contact today, which, we'll extend that out a long time. That'll be a big. Part of moving this game up is that we don't have a lot of things in. I got to put in out of bounds plays today. We've got to put in a couple different zone offenses just so we know what we're doing. If we happen to see these certain types of zones, so we're adding stuff today. We're going to do a lot of stuff today just mentally, so that if we see this, if we see that, so they're prepared. We'll spend some time on them. Obviously today, trying to defend their. Well, they run so many things. It's like, what do they run the most? Well, we don't know because we have no game tape from anything. So we'll prepare for some of their stuff, not knowing. They're going to be tough to guard. They'll be good.
Do you prefer an opponent like this for an exhibition game compared to the lower division?
Well, I think this is great for us.
How's Rod look recently? How was Schneider look recently?
Schneider has done well. He's played well. Schneider offensively, I think, is improved. His shot. He's in the best shape he's been in since he's been here, and that'll be tested more now with Abdul out. He gets more minutes. EJ gets more minutes. Eric gets more minutes. Keyshawn gets more minutes because we're down our best defender, our best rebounder, and our best shot blocker. Defensively is where Abdul is way ahead of any other big in our program, not even close. And that's what we're going to really miss him is, defensively here. And he probably won't play against Texas Tech. And let's see, today's what is today, the 19th? 11 days. He won't play, in the West Florida game. He won't play any of these exhibition games. His first outing, will probably be Alabama State on the 10th of November. We'll be conservative with this. Question?
Sorry, how does having this scrimmage kind of change what you had originally planned for the few days of practice before the West Florida scrimmage? Just having a game film?
Oh no! Well, again, this is great for us. Well, we have homecoming on Sunday. We have a football game right here, a very important, big-time game against Kentucky. All our fans are going to be in town. We're raising money for a very important cause. All right, people were devastated by this hurricane. That's one of the, my big impetus here is reasons for doing this is, it gives us, our fans and our people here a chance to give back. We're helping a number of families that have been affected by this from the state of Mississippi and from Mississippi State families. There'll be two separate charities that this money will go through. Everybody gets in for free, so we're asking everyone to give and make a donation and make a significant donation. This is to help other people. If you write a check, we'll make sure they get the write-off, so it's fully written off. This is a great and Nebraska. Okay, you got to remember what Nebraska's doing. Nebraska's paying their own way. They're getting no financial help to come down here. They're spending a significant amount of money to take a charter jet down to Starkville and help us. How nice is that? How great is that? They don't have to do this. So I'm really indebted and thankful to them and think it's phenomenal what the University of Nebraska is doing to help, the people that have suffered and been impacted by, this horrible hurricane in our area. And it's not over. We got more hurricanes brewing, and for, we have one booster of ours, who's a great guy, Tommy News, down in Houston. They had 26 inches of rain in a 24-hour period. He has hundreds of employees. They were impacted in a significant way. A lot of people lost everything. I mean, it's brutal. So this is a great game for so many reasons. That, to me, is the biggest. Second is our chance to play against, a high level opponent that's very well coached and in midseason form on offense, because this will really give us a chance to see, we got a lot of work to do defensively, if that be the case.
Talked about having Stapleton for the core and trying to get him at a level where he could do it defensively or just the team defensively with him on the floor as the four. How's that been so far?
It's been hard because, first we didn't have Lamar in all the time, and it was, once we're actually fully there with 11 guys, it's easier. But we've had to play him to keep it competitive. In other words, if you're playing him there and then you're sitting both EJ and Keyshawn out of practice, that's what's been tough. Like today, when we go through 5-on-0 offense today, and we're adding 2 new sets, we're asking him to know both plays. It's a lot. I mean, and we're going to be doing that not just with him. We're asking that in Q. We're asking that with EJ Datcher. We're asking that with Nick Weatherspoon, and he's got to start doing that more and start doing some of that today. So it gives us, the opportunity to play him and Lamar together at the same time. You got to know a lot of different things. It's not easy, and we're just in the. We've had 13 days of practice. I'd have to count it up right now. It's like our 12th or 13th day that we finished. So we've got a lot of work to do, but this is a great opportunity. What I love is we should have a great crowd. I know that when you mention the word free around here, that gets a lot of people excited, just like it would anywhere.
How'd you feel about your place in the poll, in the SEC poll?
Oh, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, I think it speaks to the strength of our league. Because I think if we're healthy, I think we're going to be a competitive team this year. And again, that's the big if: staying healthy, getting healthy, keeping healthy. But in reality, I hope that's a motivating thing for our players. That, this is what the media thinks of you, because that's who voted on it.